Shelly, and I'm so excited that you're here. If it's the first time you are watching one of my videos, my name is Shelly and I create content to assist you in improving your personal life, your career, and your entrepreneurial journey from my years of experience as a successful serial entrepreneur and a wife, a mother, and just overall all my collective experiences and successes. I pass on what I know. I get new resources, new tools to help you. So I would love if at the end of my video you comment below any topic of interest or relevance to you so that I can create videos to serve you better. So again, welcome. So excited. Today I'm going to share 5 tips. So 5 tips that you can utilize to help you find or create balance in your life as a successful person. So whether you're going to be successful or you are successful in your career or you're successful in your businesses as an entrepreneur. So 5 tips that you can use to either create or design balance into your successful life. Number 1 tip, and all my tips that I'm using, or I'm gonna tell you today, it's things that I've used, and I'll tell you all the positives and negatives that occurred in my life as a result of not having this particular tip used in my life and when I started to incorporate it. So the first tip, number 1, is to design what your ideal balanced life looks like. Because if you want to create balance, you have to have an idea what you're aiming at. How do you create balance when you don't even know what balance is for you? And the balance that I'm referring to, there are many areas of your life. There are actually 12 main areas that we all have in our lives, but I'm specifically speaking about balancing career or your business life, your work life with your personal family life. Because if there is not balance in our lives in general, our lives may look successful in one area but greatly suffer in another. So you have to have a clear picture. And for me, I'll share an example. I did not know that. I thought that focusing on and honing in on one area of my life, which was, for example, my career, especially in my 20s, would mean that every other area of my life would just automatically fall into place in the way that it's supposed to be. But that did not happen. It took effectively designing and understanding and discovering what all these other areas of my life should look like for me before I could actively do the work required to balance them. So I would know, I would be able to measure. If you don't have a good design, you can't measure. You can't measure when your family life is being negatively impacted, or if your career is being negatively impacted, if you have nothing to measure it to. So the first thing is to design your work life, your professional life, and design what your family life, your personal life, in all areas of it looks like. And if you don't know how to do that, I created a video already a couple weeks ago that speaks about how to create your life's vision, and it goes into each area of your life. So go in there and design it. Come on, if your life was a movie, guys, right? I love movies. That's one of the things that I do with my husband on date nights, or I used to do before COVID. Is we'd go to the movie theater, we'll have dinner and a movie. If your life was a movie, would you even want to watch it? Right? I ask myself that question all the time. Do you really want to watch that movie, or would you be like so bored or angry or disappointed? It's like, oh, it's just terrible. You have the power to do so. So I want you to do that. Design what your balanced life would look like. And so you can start working towards it. So step 2 in finding balance, right, or creating balance, is that now that you have your vision of what you need to measure to know if you're doing well or you're not in those areas of your life, is that you need to create actionable steps. having a grand, beautiful vision or idea of what your life should look like can be overwhelming if it's not broken down. So what I do is that I break down my big grand vision into a year, and then I break it down into months. By the end of this 12 months or these 12 months, this is the big picture that I want to create in my career. This is the big picture that I want to create in my personal life, right? So what can I do on a monthly basis that can assist me in accomplishing these goals? So I start with, chopping them into 12 big chunks, right? And then after I chop them into 12 big chunks, I say, okay, how can I, for the month, how will I achieve this? Then I chop them again into 4 chunks, chunk, chunk, chunk. And then I go into daily. And I break them down into 6 things that I can utilize or I can get done every day. That's gonna keep me consistent in line with first, my big weekly goals or my big weekly goals, and 2, my big monthly goals, and then finally, at the end of 12 months, my big chunk of a yearly goal. So that's what you've got to do in order to accomplish it. Chop it down into actionable steps so that you can get it done, because we're not just about words and speech and grand ideas. We're about action and bringing your ideal life to life. So step number 3 the third tip that you can use to help you either find balance or create balance in your successful life, because of course your life will be successful, especially if I join you on that journey. It is my objective, or it's my purpose, to pass on all the information that I have and all the knowledge and everything that I know, so that I can give it to people that can take it and use it. If we're all successful, if we're all living the life that we want to live, the world will change for the better. And if we all hold that and understand that, then we would do things differently. So the third tip is to delegate. What I found out is that there are things in my big life plan that requires me, that only I can do. And there are things that I can delegate, I can pass on to people, right? And for everyone, it's something different. Maybe in your personal life, you love cooking, but you hate cleaning. Find a way to make it work, because one of the things that happens to us is that we can burn out along our journey because we're spreading ourselves too thin. I know everyone says the mantra of being a superwoman or a superman and being a jack of all trades and just getting everything done. I don't think that's true. I think that yes, you can get everything done, but everything does not have to be done by you. So if you hate cleaning, but you love laundry, you love cooking, find a way to get that done, to get the cleaning done by somebody else. Another thing that you can do is also in your professional work. If you're an employee, ensure that you are matched by your strengths, your natural strengths, not just only what you've learned. I have a wonderful free workbook that can assist you in help to just understand where your strengths lie, what jobs or roles are best for you, so that you can be your best, you can be your most productive. So find out what you alone can do and you alone have to do, and do it. Everything else, especially if it's low in your list of priorities and it drains you, it burns you out, you absolutely hate doing it, find a way to delegate it. And maybe you won't be able to delegate it immediately, but have a plan along your life that will assist you in being in a position to delegate. The fourth tip that I have for you to help you find balance in your life is consistency. Stay consistent. You already created the picture, the movie of what your successful balanced life looks like, and you've already broken it up into chunks. Now, consistency relies on what you do on a daily basis. If you're productive every day, you're going to have a productive week, which leads to a productive month, which leads to of course, 12 incredibly productive months, so you'll have an incredible year. Consistency is simple, and it's simple in the sense that, well, it's simple for me with the method that I use. And what I do is I utilize the Ivy Lee method. I've made videos before. Check it out. I think one of my videos called How to Be Consistent. So check that one out. And it tells you that I write down my top 6 things that I need to get done every day in order of priority. And what I do is I laser focus on each task. And I do not move on to task number 2 until I get task number 1 done. And it goes down like that on the list. And it just ensures that I have a productive day. And productive in the sense that all the things that were important to me are important for me to get done within that time frame, in that period. I got done. And guess what? It makes you feel better about yourself. If every day you just like boom, 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 get your 6 things done, and you're also going to be doing them better. The quality in which you complete these tasks are going to be better because you have laser focused on them. You have shaken off everything else that has nothing to do with that task until after your task is finished. So you have a higher quality of result in what you're doing every day, and 2, you will stay consistent. We got to stay consistent. We got to go get that dream life. It will not just fall into our laps. We got to wake up every day and go get it. Step 5 or tip 5. I do steps and tips. I interchange the words, so forgive me if I say step when I mean tip. So tip number 5, last tip, is forgiving yourself. Forgive yourself when you fail. Like creating balance and building your ideal life, your dream life, your successful life. You'll have failures along the way, you'll have challenges, and you're not gonna do everything right all the time. And some of your failures and your challenges, all of them you learn. You learn from every single failure, every single challenge, and you'll grow and you'll improve yourself. But there's some failures that you'll have to carry with you. And because you have to carry it with you, you have to forgive yourself and move on and understand that in life, those things happen. And I'll give you an example. During my career, I had my daughter young, in my 20s, in my early 20s. She's 18 now. But I remember being so focused on my career in my 20s and in those developing years that my daughter, there were areas in her life in which she suffered because of that. And while we're still working on our relationship, as she's now in the, she's 18, so she's a teenager, I see, mistakes that I made, and some of them I've corrected with my younger children, so not to make those same mistakes, but there are other things that I just can't undo. I cannot turn back the hands of time. I cannot fix those mistakes. I've learned from them, but I cannot fix them. So I had to forgive myself, and I had to move on and know that I grew from those experiences. I became a better parent, and I will do better in the future with my other children. But what was done, and I had to accept that and forgive myself. And I want you to understand that, and I want you to practice that. Do your best. Fight, go out, wake up every day and just go hard. But on the days that you fail, you have to pick yourself up, you have to forgive yourself, shake off, and you continue. Because at the end of the day, we want to reach where we're going, and we want to reach there without hate, resentment, and unforgiveness within ourselves. So those are my 5 tips. I really hope that they impacted you and that you can utilize them to improve your life in some way or form. And again, if you can comment below, tell me some tips that I didn't mention, that is not included in my 5 that you use to help balance yourself, so that I maybe can take from that or add to mine in the future, or somebody else can read those comments and learn from them. Again, I'm here to serve you, so let me know topics that are relevant to you. And I have some free workbooks that you can utilize in the description below to help you carve out, design that incredible dream life that you deserve to have. Have a good day.